Hello there, everybody. Oh, that sounds so forced, and that does not sound like me at all. Happy New Year. This was meant to be a vlog, I guess. At Chesterton windmill. Only issue, I've got the memory card for the camera I'm recording on at the moment. It takes a different type of memory card to the camera that I brought with me. End result, didn't have a camera to record on. You've always got your phone, so I decided to record on my phone instead. As you'll probably see while I'm talking, the footage was fantastic. Mostly of my chin, and any footage I did get had horrific wind noise. This place, how about that? But I went there to take the picture of the sunrise. The sunrise was crap, never happened, didn't materialise. But I was there the night before for the sunset. Some of those pictures are fantastic. Haven't got them there. I'll put them on screen. You should be able to see them while they're there. Quite like the colours. Blues, reds, nice silhouettes. Did a bit of HDR sort of imaging thing to try and get the tones at the different levels kind of look nice. But mostly I was happy with the sort of the silhouette ones, where in Blue Hour actually had, sunset was nice, but Blue Hour was almost nicer. So today, this video is being taken as we go back into lockdown. And as such, I have a new toy to play with. That new toy is a Pluto Trigger and Droplet tube thing. I can't think of what it's called. Yeah. It's taken me all afternoon. Let me show you what that can do and how we set that up and how we play around with it. And then hopefully I'll show you some of the pictures. Back in a moment. First, actually, tea. Right, just put this down here. Okay, right, I'm doing this on the floor. Oh, that's why I've got this mat here, but it's the, all my fault, the floor's filthy. Right, what I have, camera shouldn't be on just yet. I have a trigger, remote trigger, fancy trigger, does other things, from Pluto. We'll turn that on. That is going to connect to my phone, and it is connected to my camera by this cable. It is then connected via another cable to this thing here, which is full of blue dyed milk. So we'll turn that on. That's then got underneath it a flat white bowl, fairly shallow, with mostly water but with milk in it to top it off. On top of that, I have a red gelled aperture light. That's just there to put a bit of a colour on the scene. We have a cheapo Nuia LED light for the extra light. Have a cup of tea. We're drinking tea, it's important. So that's on, camera's off. That's the flash trigger, cheap flash trigger. Camera flash, which is a cheapo Nuia one as well. I've got a reflector behind just to get a bit of a white background and also to bring some of that light back this way. What this does, if you hadn't already guessed, is if I press this button here. So this is the open the valve, but it'll give you some idea. If I should bring you down here and just show you this. If I have, I'll put a clip in, but this does this. So every time this sets all this off, the valve in there drops a liquid out and into the sort of the bowl below. What it's creating is you've got two drops, and they both drop together, one slightly behind the other, and as the first one hits and creates a splashback, the second one comes down and hits the top of the first one, which then spreads out and creates like a mushroom effect. And that is then coupled with this app. Right, so this is the Pluto app. If you can see that. At the top, we have the time before the camera takes a shot. Below it, we have in order the size of the droplet, the gap from the first droplet to the second droplet, and the size of the second droplet. So we could, if we wanted to, experiment with making the first droplet, I don't know, twice the size of the second droplet. That way you get a big splash on the first one and the second one pierces through it. Or the other way around. So you could have a bit of a splash and have the second one hit it hard and just create a bit more of a shockwave. However, we're going to try and get this to work on a more even keel to start with. So you test this. So if you press the cog on this thing, I have to keep showing this to the camera, but we'll work through it. I have three settings here, and what I can do now is I can set where we start. So let's say we start at 165. So there's a 165 millisecond delay before the camera goes off. It's going to go up in 1 millisecond increments, and it's going to do that every 10 seconds. So if I hit play on this as a test, it's going to keep doing that. If we wait 10 seconds. There we go. So those don't necessarily be exactly how we want them to land, but as it goes, it keeps over and over again incrementing ever so slightly quicker or ever so slightly slower from where it started. Eventually, when you check your pictures, one of them should be close. So in my case, and in this case, it's 169 that was the closest when I tried earlier. So now what we have to do is check the results that we've tried previously. Some of these look really cool, even if they didn't actually work. The lighting has gone really well. Now, the trick with this, and something I've been having to experiment a lot with today, and I'm going to bring you down to my level. How about that? Come on. You should be loose enough to drop down now. Ugh. Hate center columns. And this tripod's falling apart, so maybe another tripod in my future. Quite like the one that I was watching someone use on the internet the other day, the, what is it, something or other tripod. Come on. Thank you very much. Right. Cup of tea. It's relatively simple. The speed of your shutter isn't actually as important as you think. You need to get it as fast. You need to get it as fast as your camera and your flash will go. But the thing that actually freezes the object in time is the flash rather than the camera. So the faster your shutter speed goes, the quicker that moment can be frozen. And if you wanted to freeze a droplet like that with just the shutter speed, you'd have to get it so high, like 1, 2, 3, 4 thousandths of a second. But I've only got it 1/250. And the 1/250 is all that's really necessary to get the shot because of the flash. My flash is only on 1/16 power. I could probably lower it, but it's working pretty well so far. The only problem with this sort of thing is every time that droplet falls, it's slightly coloring the water. Not much, but over time it is going to cause issues. So I'm just going to run a few more through this. See what we get at that sort of speed. So now I'm starting to see I'm missing. So something has changed. If I drop this down to 168, we try again, then we start seeing the splashes. But I am now starting to see that we might be ever so slightly too late and the pictures aren't coming out quite how they were earlier. I'll show you some of the ones that I have taken previously. I'm really enjoying this little toy. I mean, I haven't got an awful lot to talk about with this. The only other thing I can show you this is what I've been using to take these pictures. So I've got a red dye in a glass with a pipette, giving a very, that's milk with red dye. It's gross is what it is, and it's gone very thick and it's starting to coagulate. Coagulate? That's blood. It's starting to go thick and clotting and going horrible. The blue's a lot better. But that's staying a very pale colour. It's quite a nice colour though. I mean, it looks like the blue milk that Luke drank in Star Wars. Those are what I'm using to do the drops. I'm going to keep at it for a minute. I'll show you some of the pictures. Maybe I'll show you how I edit them. I honestly don't think there's an awful lot to do with editing on this, other than maybe boosting the colour in them a little bit. If there's a bit of blue in there, bring that blue back up, bring that red out. Other than that, I think realistically all I'm going to end up doing is pressing that valve, emptying all the blue, trying again with red, and then I'll show you some of the results with that. After hours of faffing around, these show the best results that I got with this droplet sort of device, and I'm really enjoying using it. And some of the pictures that come out of it look spectacular. This one and the next one, particularly that one there, just incredible sort of abstract shapes. I absolutely love them. But ultimately, that's it. So it's a short one this week, and I'll see you around.